Alright, good morning. We are outside because the lighting's just better out here, and we're going to take you through our homeschool curriculum choices for the coming school year. This year's going to be a little bit different for us because we've got one homeschooled and one in a traditional school setting. So this is the first year that we've ever had that happen. Every other year we've had homeschoolers. In fact, their entire childhood we've had homeschoolers. So this is a new one for us, but we're going to kind of go with it. This just means we're going to spend a little more time kind of tailoring education to the little dude's needs. He's actually behind the camera right now. Core subjects. So for our core subjects, everything except for math, we're going to be running with Power Homeschool, which is a division of Excelis. It gives them the freedom to kind of work on their own. So he'll be doing a lot more independent study with that. I'm going to put in a video. What I like about that one is that it has a small video lecture that they're going to interact with. And then it also has questions and answers that they have to go through. It has vocabulary. It has different lesson components that they're going to have to work with. And it's both cyclical review, so it's going to have them come back and touch on some of the same stuff again. But it's also going to bring them into new material. And so far we've been impressed with it. It's a good basic core curriculum. As far as what I hear, it's not necessarily secular friendly. It's not an outright faith-based curriculum, but some of it doesn't necessarily align with secular values. So if you're a secular homeschooler, that's something to keep in mind. That said, if you're a faith-based homeschooler and you expect to have, your faith intertwined in every lesson, it's also not going to offer that. You're going to want to go with a different curriculum for something like that. As far as math, we're going to stick with teaching textbooks this year just because it's working. We're using the 3.0, so even though he's showing you the 2.0, we're actually going to use the 3.0 online version. And I'll put in some video here for you as well. What we really like about teaching textbooks 3.0 is that it's full of color. All the lectures are read aloud to the student. Let's see, what else? You like the buddies, right?
Yes, I do.
What's your favorite buddy?
The Karate Kid.
Okay, so he likes the Karate Kid buddy. And then I like, as a parent, that I have control over the grade book, over what he does. I like that each lesson doesn't trigger the next lesson. So if I want him to work ahead and skip certain things, if I don't want to test him, these are all options that I have as a parent. If he gets something wrong and I want him to rework it, I can go in and I can delete certain problems and give him a chance to work those again. So that's always nice. What else are we doing this year?
Hatchet.
Well, we're creating our own unit studies depending on kind of letting his interest dictate that a little bit. Noticed, about a week and a half ago, he'd really taken an interest into like survival, whittling, making something out of nothing, woodworking and stuff like that. And I remembered I had covered this book in elementary school, and Bug has had a tendency, he reads, but it's been primarily like graphic novels, which nothing wrong with that, but it's been a little bit more of a chore getting him to read chapter books as opposed to
I'm already 60 pages into this.
Yep. And
this one caught your interest.
He's kind of devoured this book. Plus it's given us something to do. So we're going to do a couple spin-off activities kind of coming off from this.
You'll see more on that in a future vlog.
Yeah. The other thing that was kind of cool about this, I didn't notice this until we had actually ordered the book. But like on certain books like this, there's actually different writing activities, which he had no idea that we were going to do until now. But, so, yeah. What do you like about this book so far?
I like that it's very survival.
Okay.
And I like that he's stranded in the forest.
Okay. So it's a good, interesting storyline?
Yes, it is.
Okay, what else do we have?
Times Tales!
We're going to be using Times Tales to work on multiplication facts. Times Tales isn't its own curriculum, but it's a great way to work on some of those multiplication facts with kids.
Fantastic supplemental program.
It's a good supplement. It's a good, it uses word stories to associate with different math facts. Try and help the kids learn their upper multiplication tables. I wouldn't say to do this instead of skip counting. You still need to make skip counting a priority because they're going to need that in upper grades for different things. But it is a good supplement to kind of help them get a little more confidence with multiplication facts. Another thing that we're going to do as far as history is we're going to do a lot of the who was, who is, where was, this series of book. These are really, really full of information. I'm going to throw a link in the description for a Walt Disney one that we did. We did a little unit study with that. And they're just really good supplements to history. So it's a good way to get children reading nonfiction in a fun way.
Interest learning, drawing, comic books. Go.
Anyway, so for this one, he's going to be using it to kind of learn to draw some of the comic heroes. If you have a kiddo that's around his age, he's 9, who is enjoying comics and graphic novels, please leave me a comment. Let me know which clean ones your kids are into that are appropriate for a younger demographic, because we're having a stink of a time finding comic books and graphic novels that will stay appropriate for younger readers. What else do you have there?
Last but not least,
Handwriting without tears.
So we're doing cursive without tears for handwriting. Cursive is important to us, so we're going to implement cursive without tears this year to kind of get him to build those skills and be able to get that cursive writing skill down pat. It's just a good supplemental program, and we really like it. I like the way that they structure the letters. I like the way that they start them simple concepts and build up to it. It's just a really good curriculum in general.
Alright, so we talked about art and how that was one of the subjects that you wanted to cover. There was another thing you talked to me a couple weeks ago that you wanted to learn. What was it? Cooking, okay. Why do you want to learn how to cook?
Because I can make my own food.
Okay, what kind
and
of
it
food?
would put less stress on them.
Oh. Alright, what kind of food do you like? Do you want to learn to cook?
Barbecue.
You want to learn how to barbecue. Okay, what else?
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese? Okay. So yeah, that's kind of on the docket for this year, is we're going to start doing some introductory concepts into cooking. Going through some of the recipes that I know through my family, through the internet, and some of the different classes that I've taken in school and stuff like that. We're going to kind of see where that goes. And again, just introducing basic concepts, the importance of measuring the ingredients, following the recipe to the T, what happens if you don't. Might even be going into expanding palettes and different things like that. So we'll see where that kind of goes. We're going to kind of wing that one on the fly.
Alright. For the oldest, doing what I call second shift homeschooling, which means that I'm going to be in charge of taking whatever she's learned at school, spending 2.5 hours at home every night, reinforcing those concepts and making sure she actually understands them.
You're still homeschooling, it just takes a different name.
Yeah, it's second shift homeschool, I'm telling you. Because we still do a ton of homework. Yep, you see a sandhill crane back there, don't you?
Yeah.
We're still doing a ton of homework. We're still spending a lot of time, and I've really been talking to her teachers, trying to make sure that retention is, important there. And it's been a learning curve for us. It's been a learning curve on how to work with teachers, on how to not be in control of the education. It's very hard as a mom to have her come home and not know what was covered, how it was covered, and have to kind of fill in and still teach that material, make sure she understands it, and prepare her for tests and such. So that's been something we've been working on. And then other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. He's not sharing the chocolate, sorry. But leave us a comment. Let us know what you're using this year. Are you set with all of your curriculum? Are you struggling with something? And then make sure to subscribe. That way you can get updated on new videos when they go live.
Also, if you have any ways of supplementing some of the stuff that we've talked about, like the cooking, some of the different unit studies on books, we're open to ideas on books and stuff like that. So feedback.